All right, today we're diving into a really weird, really cool philosophical story. It takes a question we've all asked ourselves, who am I? And just completely blows it up. We're talking about a world where the rules of reality are literally disintegrating. So let's get into this journey about identity, consciousness, and what happens when the lines between, well, everything start to get blurry.
And boom, right out of the gate, we're dropped straight into the head of our main character, Phelas. He's just woken up, he has no idea what's going on, and this one question, it kicks off the whole mystery. See, it's not just about where he is, it's about what he is.
So picture this. Fundalis wakes up in this weird, watery world. He can breathe, which is strange, but everything's all hazy and off. And that physical confusion? It's a perfect reflection of what's going on in his head, because he's getting hit with some of the biggest, most basic questions a person can even ask. I mean, look at this. You can see just how deep this confusion runs. He's not just lost in a place, he's lost in his own head. He's questioning everything he uses to make sense of the world, his own eyes, his memory, even his ability to think straight. It's like, can he even trust his own mind anymore? He's completely adrift. Okay, so just when Phelas is about to totally spiral, he runs into something. Something that should be totally normal, but it's not. He meets a cat. And yep, you guessed it, it's a talking cat. But hold on, because this isn't some cartoon character. This cat is a full-blown philosopher, and it has a wild, super technical theory about what's going on. And this is where things just go off the rails. The cat doesn't just talk. No, it gives him a reason why it can talk. Get this, the cat suggests that the very protein, the biological wall that separates one species from another, is just disintegrating. This is a huge turning point. We've gone from one guy's personal crisis to a potential crisis for all of reality. So let's unpack this core idea, right? This universal protein is the story's big explanation for all the weirdness. You can think of it like the basic operating system for biology, the code that says you're a cat, you're a human, you're a fish. And our philosophical feline friend is saying that whole system, it's crashed. And this really puts it into perspective, doesn't it? On one side, you've got our world, the one with rules we can count on. But on the other side, you've got Phelas's world, where everything is turning to mush. The line between what's real and what's a dream, between you and me, it's all just dissolving. All because this universal protein is on the fritz. So armed with this absolutely bonkers theory from a talking cat, Phelas decides to investigate. And every single thing he runs into is like another piece of the puzzle, another clue that suggests, hey, maybe this cat is actually right. And trust me, this is where the world goes from weird to truly surreal. And his first clue? A walking, talking shark. Yep, you heard me right. And it doesn't just talk. It speaks in these crazy poetic riddles. It sounds like nonsense at first, but it's more proof that species can communicate now. And the poor shark is obviously freaking out, looking for its own shield of understanding because its world doesn't make sense anymore either. It's not just the animals, though. Foles wanders into a village, and even the regular people there are broken. They're stuck in these weird philosophical loops, just questioning the edges of their own reality. This shows that whatever is happening, it's not just messing with biology, it's messing with human consciousness too. And then, just when you think it can't get any weirder, a werewolf shows up. And this werewolf points a finger, or a paw, right at the cat, accusing it of stealing the universal protein and mixing it with, of all things, shark teeth. Now this is a huge clue. It connects the cat's theory directly to that talking shark. The plot is definitely thickening here. So, let's piece this together. Every bizarre conversation, that poetry-spouting shark, those confused villagers, that werewolf's accusation, no matter how absurd it sounds, it all seems to point back to the cat. Everything is confirming this impossible theory, and Phelas starts to think that this one little cat is somehow the key to this whole reality-breaking mess. Okay, and all of this leads us to the big climax. Phelas follows the cat. And what does the cat do? It just dives straight into the ocean. So Phelas follows it down, deep into the water. And you can think of this as a journey into the subconscious, where the final, absolutely mind-blowing truth is about to come out in the form of a dance. So, step one of the dance, the invitation. The cat basically tells Phelas, hey, you need to forget everything you think you know, just let go. He has to enter this underwater world with a completely open mind because it's the only way he'll be able to grasp what's really going on between them.
And here it comes, the first part of the big reveal. The cat explains that them talking to each other, it's not just a weird side effect of reality breaking down. No, it's because they share a singular brain. Their connection is way, way deeper than Fele's ever could have guessed.
And this is the moment it all clicks into place. Feel starts moving, perfectly in sync with the cat, but he's not choosing to do it. It's like a deep instinct has taken over. He's not even in control of his own limbs anymore. And in that one moment, that perfect synchronization, he gets it. The unbelievable truth. They aren't two separate beings. They're one. Which brings us to the final, jaw-dropping revelation. The cat explains their roles. Felice, he's the conscious mind, the part that faces the world, that thinks and reasons. But the cat is the subconscious, the hidden part, the instincts, the chaos, all the deep down stuff. They're two sides of the same coin, and together they make up the complete archetype of what it means to be feline. So with that bombshell, the story totally changes. It's not really about a crumbling universe anymore. Now it's about a self that's finally becoming whole. I mean, what does that even mean? To find out your identity is basically a conversation happening between two different parts of your own mind. And this last quote from the cat really nails the whole point of the story. The universe might be a wreck, reality could be totally unstable, but as long as you know that your own will, your own self, comes from one single unified mind, even if it speaks with different voices, then you've got the power to handle pretty much anything.
So, what's the big takeaway here? Well, for one, identity isn't just one single thing. It's more like a dialogue going on inside you. Second, the rules of reality might be a lot more shaky than we like to admit. And finally, real strength, the key to getting through the chaos, comes from knowing and accepting all the complex parts of who you are.
And that leaves us with one last question to chew on. In this story, the subconscious shows up as a talking cat. So it makes you wonder, right? If that hidden instinctual part of your own mind, your gut feelings, your inner voice, if it suddenly took a physical form and stood right in front of you, what would it look like? And more importantly, would you recognize it?